Welcome, Sagittarius. Thank you for coming back. If you're returning and if you're new, thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy this reading. It is a general reading. So now in your first house, we have Venus love. Your first house is everything to do with yourself, your physical body, your vitality. It's also your observable characteristics and personality. So what other people see when they see you. So how you come across to others, and also what you're projecting outwards to others as well. It's also your own self-oriented interests and how you are making your way in the world, in your daily life. So now with Venus love coming in, this indicates a partnership of some kind. It can be a love relationship, or it can be just a partnership of some kind. It could be business related, or you're just linking up with another in some way. So, but with this card always comes love, comes romance, and also socializing, sort of a higher social persona. You're actually elevated yourself in some way. It could also be the improvement of an existing relationship. So something that's already with you that is now going to a higher level, and there's more love and there's more romance. Or it could also just be the relationship with yourself, if that is not applying to you. So therefore, you applying, loving yourself, and applying all the aspects of Venus in your relationship with yourself. So that's doing romantic things for yourself, enjoying romantic activities, and just also beautifying yourself in some way. So whether that's visiting a hair salon, or just perhaps having a makeover of some kind, or changing the way you dress, but it really is beautifying yourself in some way. That's loving yourself. That's self-care. It can also be having compassion for yourself and for others. It's also playfulness. So if you're in a relationship, it's the playfulness of that. And it's also, Venus is also about attaining refinement in some way. So it's the lower octave of Neptune. So this is about attaining refinement in some way, or in the way you do things, or in the way you dress yourself, the way you present yourself, and so on. It's also about sort of feeling like you need comfort. So that's either providing comfort for yourself. So this is doing small things in your environment which are going to make you feel comforted in some way. It's also the love of luxuries. So just be aware, because it's coming up in your money house as well. Just be aware that there's nothing wrong with spoiling yourself, or enjoying luxuries and so on. But if you're going through a period of austerity and so on, then it must be necessary luxuries. So this is not big splashes and unnecessary expense. These are small things which don't necessarily cost you a lot, but which are going to still bring you the same feeling of love and comfort. This card also brings in the arts in some way. So you could be out and about socializing, or visiting the arts in some way, or you could be sort of harnessing your artistic side, and exhibiting that in some way, whether it's you're taking art classes, or you're just deciding to paint, or it could even be in music. There's lots of different ways that this can come in. This card can also be about attaining balance in some way. So this is perhaps balance to your personality, or balance between your inner self and your outer self. But it is all about love. So loving yourself and loving another possibly as well. Venus can also bring in windfalls. Money is aspected with this card. You could also be settling a dispute in some way, and that's by embodying the aspects of Venus, which is charm and refinement and compassion, and just all the beautiful things in life. So you can settle a dispute by simply harnessing those abilities. It's also about finding contentment in some way. So possibly you are just, as I said, finding balance between your inner self and your outer self, and through that you find contentment. Or it could be, as I said, through a partnership of some kind. Just be aware that Venus loves sweet things, so balance your craving for sweet foods and so on with physical activity or just looking after yourself in general. Then in the second house, we have Saturn Truth. So as I said, second house is to do with your money, your income that's coming in. It's also to do with your self-worth, and it's to do with your values and your value system, what you own, all forms of ownership and possession. It's also to do with real estate, land, property, anything like that. So now, with Saturn coming in there, I feel that at this time, you may want to do a lot of things. You may want to really splash out and sort of purchase certain things. But with Saturn coming in to this card, this is a necessary prudence. It's about avoiding unnecessary expenses. You're going to need to streamline your income. And you need to focus on your needs and not your wants at this time. And it's also about facing a few things, facing perhaps where you've been a bit spendthrift or you've just let things go, or just not being as fastidious to do with your own personal self-worth and your values. It's about addressing all of those issues, taking responsibility, looking at things with a really very realistic eye. It's about austerity in some way, and it's about challenge. So you may be facing a challenge financially, with your income, or you may just be trimming things down. But whatever it is, you need to stick to your plans. For doing what is needed, you need to stick to those plans. Don't start something and then abandon it because it's too hard. Saturn won't allow you to do that because it's just going to come back again. This card is also the card of patience. So whatever plans you're trying to put into place or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, it's going to be slow progress from a monetary point of view. And it will be one solid step at a time. And the reason why that's so important is because when you make it one solid step at a time, you build a very strong foundation, which can't be broken. And that is what Saturn is all about. Saturn is not wobbly fantasy type arrangements. It's got to be solid system. It's got to be methodical. It's got to be practical, and it must serve you and bring you the achievement that you require. But you can only do that from a place of strength. That's what Saturn's about. You may also be in contact with an authority figure of some kind. Perhaps somebody is going to assist you, or you're learning from somebody, or it could just be an authority figure that's coming in to bring about some kind of changes, which may not, there may be, as I said, you may have to face a few things and take responsibility as well. So Saturn embodies all that, but always Saturn is trying to bring about solid achievement in some way, and it takes a bit of time, and you've got to weed out unnecessary things in order to achieve that. Then in the third house, we have Yod Destiny. Your third house is to do with your self-expression. So this is how you communicate. And this can be verbal, written, body language, any form of communication. So how you express yourself. This is in the greater, your greater environment, but it can also be with your siblings, your aunts and uncles, your cousins, these people that are in your life. It's also about this third house also covers documents and contracts of all kinds because it's written. So those are important and they fall under the third house. So now, at this time with your Destiny card coming in there, you may just be feeling, you're under pressure, but you may just be feeling a bit alone or out of step with others. And those could be those family members, or it could be with other people that you are associated with. You're just feeling like you've got no support, or that that you're not actually getting, you're not going to get the kind of advice and the support that you think you need. And I say you think you need because you don't actually need it. This is a time, it's really a necessary time to find out your own truth. So you're going to be sort of pioneering in a way. You're going to be pioneering with how you express yourself and how you are actually, going about your self-expression. You may be, as I said, you may be required to change. There are other circumstances in your chart which are going to force you into this now, where you're going to really have to reevaluate how you have been doing things up till now. And what you have been saying, written and verbal, the documents you've been involved with, the contracts and so on. It's your relationship with all of that. You're really going to have to assess what does and does not work and get rid of what does not work for you anymore. So what worked before may not work for you now going forward. So you must always follow your own inner GPS, because you do have all the answers internally. You just need to weed them out, pull them to the surface. And even though things may be tense and a bit stressful, you will find the answers, but you've got to go and do a little bit of soul searching and find out for yourself what is right for you. There will be some sacrifices involved, and in order to get what you want. You're going to have to be adaptable as well. You're really going to have to do some serious self-assessment and actually go, as I said, get rid of what's not working, be adaptable. The third house also covers short trips, local trips. But because this card is sitting in there, I feel that you may not really be doing that at this time. But if you do go anywhere, it might be best to just go on your own and enjoy some quiet time. This is for that deep self-analysis and self-assessment. As I said, you may just be feeling alone in any case, and that is for a very good reason. And it's to help you navigate from an internal, your internal system, as opposed to what everybody else is saying or telling you at this time. Then in the fourth house, we have Capricorn IUs. The fourth house is to do with your home, your physical home. It's also the atmosphere in your home, the people in your home, but it can also be to do with your relationship with your identity, your ethnic identity or your ancestral identity, or just your foundation, where you came from, your family tree, your family roots, all of that. It's your relationship with that. But as I said, also everything to do with your actual home. So now, Capricorn, I use this card is a very ambitious card. This is about sticking to your goals. So whatever your goals are in any one of those areas, you need to stick to them and do not give up. You're going to have to be resourceful, focused, practical, and systematic. So this could be if you're trying to make changes in your home, or you're trying to build something up in your home, or physically building your home. You're going to have to use all of those practical Capricorn abilities to actually achieve this. It's also about making good use of your connections, really good connections, who will hopefully offer support and show you the ropes. So you need to honor those people and harness all their knowledge and their wisdom as well. If you are building or creating something in your home, it's a gradual process, and you could also be resolving something. So a resolution to an issue could be coming in as well, and it will be just and fair. Because Capricorn is associated with the legal system as well, and judges and the law. So whatever the issue is, you can expect a just and fair outcome. This could also symbolize a Capricorn in your home, or a Capricorn type person in your home, which brings in that resourcefulness, the practical side, the systematic, and they often are quite well connected, or they may be socially further up the ladder than you are. So it could be that. It could be a visitor or somebody else in your home that you're involved with at this time. But if you don't have that, then it really is about it could be a relationship with, as I said, with your family tree and your so this could be an authority figure in your family tree, or your ethnic identity. Perhaps you're building something up. Perhaps you're exploring that. But it's going to take time, and you need to be practical about whatever you're doing in your fourth house. Then in the fifth house, we have Moon Soul. So your fifth house is the house of children, whether they're yours or others that you're associated with. It's also the house of creativity. So this is not necessarily artistic. This can be any kind of creative expression that you have. So it could be the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you do your home, your interiors, or the way you arrange your children's parties. There's lots of ways that you can use your creativity. Or it could just be some creative project which you're actually busy with. So it's about that. It's also, the fifth house also governs love affairs, and it also governs recreational activities of all kinds. So these are often fun, enjoyable activities, or they could be sports activities and clubs and so on. So where you are involved with a recreational activity of some kind. So now with this card coming in, this is about following your intuition and your gut feelings. So this could be in relationship to your children, or to a love affair, or to your creative project, or to your activities that you're involved in. Or it could be that your children, you're seeing this, that your children need to do this. It's about following intuition and gut feelings. There's going to be high emotion in some ways. There's going to be sensitivity, but with the sensitivity comes imagination. So that's very good for creative projects in all forms. It could also be that someone from your past is coming back as well, or memories are associated with that person coming back as well. You may feel that you or your children or your love interest, or both of you, may need to just retreat periodically as well. That comes up with this card. Because it's with that retreat and that time spent alone, then you can rebalance your emotions and you'll center yourself, and that helps to mitigate things like moodiness, sort of going through the harsh ups and downs. You want to try and regulate your cycles, because with this comes various types of cycles, fluctuations of all kinds. So you want to, be able to ride those cycles and fluctuations in the best way possible. This card can also bring in shyness. So possibly your children are experiencing this, or it's you in a relationship, a new love relationship, or your partner is like that, or it could be you entering a new activity, a recreational activity, and you're shy amongst the others that are in the same group as you. This card can also bring in crowds and being involved in crowds of all kinds. So this could be going to recreational events where there are lots of people, or it could be sort of following popular like fads and fashions and things like that. That could be coming up. Also, the moon sometimes can hide things. So something could be hidden from you in some way in any one of those areas. The moon also brings in women's wisdom and issues. And also food and nurturing comes in with this card. So you could be taking a cooking class, or your children are involved in that, or you need to perhaps address food issues in your home to do with your children, or something associated with that. Or it could be a creative thing. Perhaps you are baking or cooking or creating food for certain things. So all of those come in with the moon card in your fifth house.